What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Single Guy FAQ. The question today is, how do I ask a girl out at work? The short answer to this question is you basically invite her to do something with you and your coworkers or you and your friends, kind of like a happy hour after work, and then see where it goes from there. Here's some basic guidelines about trying to date coworkers. All right, so the first thing that you need to know about dating coworkers is that a lot of people do it. Okay, it happens all the time. It's very common, despite what your sexual harassment, seminars or whatever you had to go to. Believe me, I had to do all of that. I actually used to work at Oracle Corporation, which is the second largest software firm in the world, and basically, they were, we went through all that sexual harassment. I actually had to do it twice. I had to do it two times that I worked there, and every single time it was basically the same answer. Like, if you're the guy, you're basically fucked if somebody accuses you of sexual harassment. A lot of things can be construed as sexual harassment, and you're basically put at a disadvantage. The main thing that you need to know is that the people that get in trouble for this sort of thing are not really the people that do, like, the salacious stuff, although there's not much that you can, you're not going to do anything too crazy in the office from the stuff that I hear about, because people gossip all the time. But it's people that get upset that are the real problem. So as long as you don't upset anyone, you don't do anyone any harm, you take things a little bit slower than you would if you were at a bar or something else, you should be okay. So here's how you do it. Basically, if you're interested in a girl at work, maybe she's, down the cubicle from you, she's on the same floor or whatever. Okay, you basically want to casually mention that, hey, you and your friends are going to happy hour after work on a Thursday or something like that. Everybody loves happy hour. And then you see if she comes. If she comes to that, then you basically want to talk to her and focus a lot of your attention on her, flirt with her a little bit. Don't be too aggressive. Don't try and kiss her or anything. Make this like pleasant. And you want to have plausible deniability. Just say, hey, yeah, if it turns bad, we were just hanging out as friends. That's basically where you want to be. Now, in this area, you don't want to talk about work. If she wants to talk about, it's fine to like rip on, oh, my boss does this, my boss does that. That's cool. But eventually, you want to be steering the conversation into other topics, because if she's willing to talk with, stuff outside of work, she's probably going to be willing to do stuff outside of work with you. So find out her interests, find out what she likes to do, and then again, keep inviting her out to stuff that you and your friends are doing. See how it's going. If she spends a lot of time with you during these events, that's a good sign, And obviously, people don't want to like. Everybody talks in the office, so she's going to be acutely aware that people are going to be staring at her. And trust me, in her shoes, it's going to be a lot worse if people find out that you're fucking. You're probably going to look like more of a stud. She's probably going to look like more of a slut. And it's a lot worse when people all work together. So that's not how it is. Usually people, I think these days, are a little bit more open-minded about that sort of stuff. But that's just kind of the way the world works, and you have to be aware of that. At each step of this process. So when this happens and you guys are comfortable enough with each other, then you can go off and do something by yourselves, and that's when you treat it as a date, and that's when you kind of, move in and try and go in for, the makeout and try and bring her back to your place and stuff like that. But don't do it. Make sure she's comfortable with the situation. I would say more so than you would be if you're going out at a bar or something like that, okay? I had this happen twice. I hooked up with, I had sex with two coworkers that I had during the couple years that I was working at Oracle. It's not a lot in comparison to what I was doing outside of work, obviously, very small, but it just ended up happening. And the first one was kind of like she was more into me, and I wasn't really looking for a girlfriend or anything. And so like we hooked up, and she kind of wanted a little bit more, and I was a little bit scared it was going to like blow up in my face, but we had a cool talk, and we talked about it, and we ended up becoming friends after that. It was totally cool. And that's, I think, the way to go, is if you do end up sleeping with somebody, you kind of want to transition it into like a friend, so it's not awkward, because you are going to have to deal with that person at the office. It's just going to happen. And the second time it happens, it happened this like crazy like fivesome I had when I went out with me and my buddy. we pulled these 3 girls back to their hotel, and turns out one of the girls worked with me, and she actually worked on the same floor as me. And obviously she's very comfortable with herself, and so it was no big deal about us hooking up. But you don't know how that person is going to react before you get to know them. And so hopefully I gave you a few guidelines. I wouldn't try and be the player McPlayer in the office, going from cubicle to cubicle, trying to like fuck all the girls there. I mean, you're just going to be labeled as a creep, and it's really going to hurt your career life. And ultimately, I wouldn't advise doing that in the office. I mean, there's plenty of girls outside. If you want to pimp, go pimp outside the office. Don't do it where the cubicles and the sexual harassment suits can be filed. It's better to do it outside. But again, you want to bring her to an environment where you and your friends can hang out, where it's a lot more comfortable. You don't want to ask her out for a date. Okay, asking somebody out from a date at the office, even if she likes you, she's probably going to say no, because it's just too much of a big step. You want to have these little incremental steps where she has the opportunity to hang out with you, and then it becomes a very easy process for her to hang out with you alone. Okay, that's how you want to do it. Anyway, let me know what you guys thought about this. If you guys have had any experiences with you getting at coworkers, I know it's different. It maybe if you work at a restaurant or if you work at somewhere else. I'm kind of coming from the corporate environment where I worked in for about a couple years. So that's the best way to do it. Let me know what you guys thought, and if you have any more questions, put them in the comment section below. Love to read them. Thanks a lot, you guys. Good luck out there.